I now recognize the chairman of the full committee, Dr. Babin, for his questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate it. I think it's important to note that the Weather Forecasting Office that covers Kerr County was not fully staffed in advance of the July 4th flood there. But they also had a hydrologist on staff. Excuse me, let me back up. I would like to say that the Weather Forecasting Office that covers Kerr County was not only fully staffed in advance of the July 4th flood, but they also had a hydrologist on staff. Staffing was not an issue, and forecasts were timely and accurate. It is also important to note that the President's budget request, or PBR, recommends an increase in the National Weather Service. Also, both House and Senate appropriators have subsequently considered funding bills that sufficiently fund NOAA above the levels of the PBR. And now my question for you, Dr. Gammon. The flash floods in Texas Hill Country earlier this month caused the death of nearly 130 people, and there are still folks missing. The level of devastation to human life has exposed a deficiency in the current system, warning people that danger is imminent, despite the facts that forecasts were accurate, notifications and warnings went out. What do you think can be done to prevent a tragedy like this from happening again?
Thank you for the question. Unfortunately, I don't think it's possible to totally prevent tragedies like this, but we can certainly learn from them and improve all aspects of warning and distribution, including more precise forecasts and warnings with additional lead time. That's possible with modern technology. Improving the communication systems. We've heard about the lack of technology available in places without cell phone coverage in the area, and making sure that people, the general public, and people responsible for other people, like camp operators and so forth, understand the nature of the risks and how to specifically respond to them, especially in the middle of the night when you're not necessarily thinking clearly. You already have plans in place to deal with them.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you. In an interview, Rob Kelly, who is the Kerr County, Texas county judge, and its most senior elected official, said the county did not have a warning system because such systems are expensive and local residents are resistant to new spending. Taxpayers will not pay for it, Judge Kelly said. Asked if people might reconsider in light of the catastrophe, he said, "I don't know." Now we know that forecasts and warnings went out well in advance of the floods and that notification systems and cell phones were alerted. Now in this rural area, cell phone service is sparse. I live in a rural area myself, and I can vouch for that. And the early morning hours of the event, as you just intimated, made receiving the alerts even more difficult. But I think everyone acknowledges that absolutely more should be done. This is a question of prioritization. We recently held a hearing on the Biden administration's Justice 40 initiative that required 40% of all federal expenditures be devoted to transform hundreds of federal programs by channeling resources toward communities that have faced, quote, long-standing environmental injustices and inequities. This resulted in significant taxpayer resources going to DEI and environmental justice initiatives rather than in protecting the lives and property of American citizens. The GAO recently warned Congress that America's fiscal health is at risk based on excessive spending, increased debt interest, and ballooning mandatory spending. Facing such fiscal challenges and in light of recent tragedies, I would submit that the government should shore up forecasting and notification systems rather than DEI and environmental justice initiatives. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back the balance of my time.